I start that moment in the morning with like an act of tidiness and completion and like culminating factor of the night and starting my day with a kickoff. And so I feel better about the whole day when I just make my bed. And so I am someone who prefers to make my bed in the morning. And when you do little moments with tiny wins, you start to feel more confident about your outcomes. And those are really cool ways to feel about yourself. So again, tiny wins are something to focus on. Now we're going to talk about the idea of ache from the overwhelm and burden of goal setting, and hope, which really happen when you think about the idea of change, especially if it lasts a long time. Maybe you're tired of setting goals that fizzle and you feel bad about yourself because of it, or maybe you're afraid to try again because you wonder if small things are even enough, or like I'm talking about today, gentle goals, are they enough? Well, here's what I have learned, that is that rigid goals can feel like judgment, not just from others, but self, whereas gentle goals feel like an invitation. And it's supportive, it's not shaming, and ultimately having a way that just keeps us a nudge forward is a good thing, right? Just a little bit better every single day. So I want to think about clients that discuss the topic of exercise, which I hear about because it is really a beneficial way to reduce stress in the body. It's, science shows that there's numerous outcomes that are awesome. And so when you think about this coming up, this is a little bit of an amalgamation of stories, but I'm thinking about a client who wants to exercise daily, but then thinks about freezing at the thought and adding, the hour, 7 different days a week. And we start by talking about putting shoes on and walk to the mailbox, or plan to walk 2 minutes and back or 5 minutes and back. And just inching towards something gets the idea of movement. And telling yourself, I want to be someone who exercises, and then making those small steps is a big win. And that micro step can eventually become a habit if we reproduce it. And eventually, maybe it turns into a daily walk, which is something that, many clients want to embody as far as their goals. So now we're going to talk about tools for gentle change. How do we create change that lasts? One of the things that you must do when it comes to goal setting is practicing true vulnerability. You want to share your hopes, your fears about the change. You want to share the things that you're committing to do and making them real. You want to set healthy boundaries about them. Say no to the hustle culture, yes to rest. And again, lead with curiosity when you run into issues about why you weren't successful. And then maybe readjust or pivot. What's the smallest step that you can take today toward that thing? And keep the welcome mat out for yourself. Like, you belong even when you miss a step. I get hard on myself a little bit when it comes to like my house getting too messy, when I'm going in too many directions and I've thrown things everywhere and I have dishes building up in my sink or things like that. And an example might even be like today, I saw my sink and I was so frustrated and I didn't think I had time to empty the whole dishwasher and put dishes in, but I thought I could start. And then I ended up having enough time. So even though I didn't get to do my counters and put everything away, I was able to do the dishwasher and put dirty dishes in. And it felt like some accomplishment. And I looked at the kitchen and I intentionally said, that feels better. And so I think it's important that you give yourself permission to enjoy the little wins and recognize that it's okay to be imperfect and that there's no such thing as perfect. There's some science behind the overwhelm that happens when we are struggling with these types of things and missing goals, and we end up with some shame around it.